What is up, guys? Welcome back to day 4 of Nick's Mission to Day Trading. Today, as you can see here, we took a L. I really liked this setup here, right? Just wasn't didn't swing our way. It was kind of a indecisive day in the markets. We're still learning. But first and foremost, I'm gonna start off. We did end up taking we did take a win, and then um, our I'm sorry, this trade. Yeah, we end up right. We took a win, and then we end up getting stopped out on our final take profit. Right, I definitely overtraded today. Okay, so we took off 75% at these equal highs here. Then at this high, we took off another 50% of our position, and then we won another 50% here. So we made good money, right? After this, price took out our stop loss, and we saw a break of structure to the downside, and some things shifted for us. But let's get into my daily buys first. Also, I know you guys haven't been able to see my full screen the last 2 or 3 days. So that's fixed now. We should be good. But if we take a look at longer time frames, right, we see kind of coming into today. Yesterday we had that big sweep to the downside, ripped to the upside. And today we kind of had similar things. We chased some downward liquidity, swept out that upon London session, Asia session, and a London session. Kind of consolidated throughout London session, and then swept out some London session lows and ripped to the upside. Now, I must say, if we take a look, right, I marked out all these draws on liquidity here, which happened to just, right, I went into the day looking for shorts, right? I'll be honest, it was kind of bearish, especially when I saw PPI come out bearish, right? Come down, sweep these during London session, rip a little bit, and then I see price right on open, or right before open, sweep out these 15-minute highs, right? Highs here, highs here, highs here, right? We sweep out both of these, and then in here, the 5-minute, right? 15-minute looks pretty just like a doji because of these two candles, but we ripped up, sweep out those highs, then we break structure to the downside, right? So now I'm looking for shorts, right? This is NQ. I took the L on ES, so it's kind of same thought process. What we did see here, which I did take a trade off in here on, was this 5-minute fair value gap, right? I saw this get filled into, and upon break out of it is what I took this trade off of. But right, we kind of didn't realize that we were kind of coming back into this fair value gap down here. It's just something I'm learning, right? Like, I see a break of structure, and I'm like, oh, okay, if we broke structure, we're going to go below this. But no, like, this fair value gap still holds some power. And honestly, I probably, with, how the market had just moved to the upside here and then rejected down, if I really wanted to look for bears, I probably should have seen more bearish confluence, especially because we had swept sell-side liquidity here, right? Ripped to the upside. There wasn't really any top-side liquidity, right? Like, I thought this was, but this is like, right? This is not a very, like, this liquidity here is a low, right? On London session. That's a sweep. But this is just a 15-minute high that happened in London. I shouldn't be trading off of that. Anyways, scale to the 5-minute, right? I see price break structure, tap back into this Yep, the move up before the move down. It's going to be our order block, right? Whatever you want to call it. Order block. I see price 1 minute. Come out. All right, price goes in. I see it break out, and I entered off that candle closure, and we really didn't hold this trade for very long, right? Took an L on that, right? I saw this fair value gap hold, right? This was our 5-minute structure here. We came into here, we rip a little bit, then we even get into a 1-minute confluence and rip out of it. I mean, it was just great order flow bullish wise, and we just needed to see that, right? We need to look at those higher time frame powers, those confluences, and don't just flip buys here, right? Like we were bearish on the day, but we got to look for longs, right? Like we saw liquidity get taken out, and just because we come back into here, the thing is, it came down pretty freaking hard, right? This is like right on market open, like 5 minutes. We see it just come down, and I got a little worried, but gotta stay bullish, Anyways, we end up later in the day, kind of a little bit towards the end of when we want to be trading, but I was in class, really liked the trade, right? We got a really good risk to reward. This was just a paper trade, and like I said, I was in class. So what did I do? I forget where I put my take profit, but this was kind of like a little I knew price. I liked an entry. I didn't really have the time in class to really look at, liquidity and stuff. I got a test tomorrow in that class, so it's a little bit hard. This was our first win, like I said. Move on up here, right? So go to the 5-minute. Right, so again, I see price do this, and we broke, right? We made a new high. Then I see, right, this was the fair value gap we used before, right, to take our trade here. But now since we had to move down in a new high, we now have, this fair value gap can be left alone, right? And I see this fair value gap, right? I see price come right into it, right? At this point, I was actually very over trading, and I was looking for a break to the downside, which is kind of funny. I was looking for this to get inversed, right? Which, yeah, that probably would have put a some bearish order flow, but we see it reject right off, and I'm like, bull run, bitches, right? I see it reject right off. We're in bullish structure as we just broke structure. Come here into the 1 minute, look right in here, and there's an inverse fair value gap right here. Drew that the wrong way. Inverse fair value gap right here. Right? But I don't enter off this candle close because there's a fair value gap right here, okay? There's a fair value gap right here. So when do I enter my trade? I enter right off the close here, okay? I don't actually know if this fully closed above. But like I said, guys, I was in class. It's pretty hard to tell. But either way, all right, gotta get entry, put stops. Put stops right kind of below the fair value gap. I'm sorry, below that fair value gap. Because I figured if we're going to use that fair value gap as like confluence, kind of put it right there. Anyways, took a dub on that. Like I said, that was kind of like a mid trade. Like I was in class. Realistically, if I'm in school trading on, with real money, I'm not trading, right? I'm not going to risk it, being able to not get a solid entry, put a great stop loss and whatnot. But pretty solid day. Hyperliquid, still love it. It's been ripping, okay? The last, 2 hours, right? We're up like 4% in the last 2 hours. That's pretty cool. But yeah, guys, tomorrow I think finally we don't really have much news. All right, we have retail sales, so should not be too bad. Just gotta hope for the best. I'm gonna try to keep this one short as Hyperliquid just keeps ripping. Solana, I was gonna buy a little bit today when I saw it at 190. Did not, but nonetheless, it's all good. Yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for today. Gonna look into getting a funded over the weekend, okay, guys? We're gonna really look into it, start trading on it next week. I'm gonna look at Top Step. I think that's where I'm gonna go. And yeah, see y'all boys in the next one.